Hello Year 9, now we're using a program called Hookpad. It doesn't require so much knowledge of theory, but it's a very good way to work out how to compose a melody along with a harmonic progression, which is a pattern of chords. We've already harmonized the C major scale before with chord 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. And there they are: C, D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor and B diminished, which we will not use. Down here is where we put the chords. Up here is where we put the notes of the melody. Notice they're already divided into C, D, E, F, G, A, B. In other words, the notes of a scale. You can also see it's divided into a faint grid. That shows you how long the notes go for. Each one of these dark lines here represents a bar, or because we're in 4/4, that means 4 beats has taken place. Altogether here we have 8 bars, which is a quarter of the composition you have to do. Let's start with chord 1. Now, that's a little bit short. It's a bit quick. We can stretch that for the whole bar if we like. For the next bar, we're going to use chord 1 again. Instead of stretching it, I'm going to choose the duration from up here. This one here is obviously a full bar. This one is half of a bar, 1 beat, a quarter, and an eighth. We don't want the chords changing too quickly, so let's go for a whole bar. And chord 1. Now let's go for a different chord. Let's go for chord 4, another major chord, and chord 5. Good, we're halfway through the first section. I'm going to go to chord 6 because I feel like it. Then I'll go to chord 2. Whoops, backspace. And then I'm going to try 2 chords, but not quite as long. I'll say 4, back to 2, and then for 4 beats, chord 5. What does that sound like so far? When I press play, these chords will be played for me, but they will be broken up in a kind of a rhythm. There we go. I don't like this pattern here of chord 2 going to chord 4, then that kind of thing. I might put a different chord in here. Maybe, I'll see if I can put chord 3 in here. Backspace, chord 3. Okay, what does that sound like? I'm not sure how it sounds from the beginning, but I've got a fair idea. Anyway, this becomes my harmonic progression. And the rate at which the chords change is the harmonic rhythm. 4 beats, 4 beats, 4 beats, 4 beats, 4, 4 beats, 2 beats, 2 beats, back to 4 beats. That's my harmonic rhythm. I should say the first chord really goes for 8 beats because it's the same chord over 2 bars. Now we can look at the melody. How do we work that out? Well, when I hover over the chord, I can see certain notes of the melody light up. I'll show you again. Here's a melody. I'll hover over the chord and 3 colors pop up. There's a red color on the C, a yellow color on the E, and a purple color on the G. That means they're the notes that belong in this chord, which means if you use them in the melody, they will most certainly fit because they are the same. I'll start with duration. Let's go for 1 beat. And I'll put that on one of my chord notes, tonal notes. So let's try G. Up from here, there's G. I can stretch that note and make it longer or shorter if I like. But I'm going to stick with just 1 beat. Now the next note, I'm going to use another chordal note. A note that is from the chord. I've already used G, let's use E. Why not? Another note from the chord is C. I'll use C. And then, just for laughs, I'll go back to E. It's a little bit boring, but it fits. There are no problems there. Let's get a little bit more daring. In the second bar, I'll go back to G again, but the next note, I'll go down to an F. But wait, you say, that's not part of the chord. F doesn't belong to the chord of C. That F note is going to stand out. It's going to clash. But I know what I'm doing. Have no fear, because the next note I'm going to move down to is from the chord, and that note is E. So now we have G, F, and E. The G and the E both belong to the chord. The F does not, but it is passing in between those two notes. Therefore, it is a passing note. The F is a passing note. It passes between two notes that belong to the chord. And that's totally fine. You'll hardly even notice it. What's more, the F occurs on beat number 2. Beat number 2 is what's called a weak beat. The strongest beat of the bar is, of course, the first beat. The next strongest beat is the third beat. The weakest beats are beat 2 and beat 4. And since beat 4 is another weak beat, I'm going to use another note that doesn't belong to chord 1, because I want to continue this pattern of notes going down in a scale. So the note below this note is D. So once again, D doesn't belong, but in the next bar we change to chord F, and I can see that if I keep going down one more step, I will land on a note that is in the chord. In this case, the note is C, and it belongs to the chord of F, because F consists of 3 notes which are lit up in colours, C, F, and A. So, next note being C, I think I might change the duration of this note to make it longer. There we go. And now I might jump up to another chord note. Maybe up here to an A. And once again I might change the duration. Now I'm on a weak beat, so I can afford to move off the main chordal tones. Should I go up or down? Who knows? I think I might go down to a G. Once again, we're setting up a passing note. So the next note is going to be, I can't go down or up. I can either go to the same note in chord 5, or I can risk putting a non-chordal note on a strong beat. Well, I'm going to do that anyway. So I'm going to put a strong beat note that doesn't belong to the chord, because I want to maintain a kind of pattern. I don't like leaping around too much in a melody. So I'm going to land on this F here. But I'm going to get off it quickly. I'll make it shorter. And follow it by another note. Let's say it's an E. And now we're back on the chord again. I'll make that note longer. That looks nice. Do-do-do. Why not repeat that pattern like a kind of small sequence? So I'll take another short note and jump up to another chord note, I think. This time right up to a B. G, and now I'll move off that. Do-do-do-do. And now we're up to this chord, A minor. Of course, you could be checking the melody as you go along. I've got a vague idea what it's going to sound like, but you might not know. In which case, let's play it from the start and see what it sounds like so far. Not too bad so far. This pattern here clearly wants to keep going downwards. So I will oblige and make the next note a nice long E, which is a chordal note. What if I want to go up an octave? There is a way. I think if I just put another A in there, Whoops-a-daisy. That's not what I wanted. That's an E. If I put another E there, I think I can shift that note up to the next octave. Or maybe I can't. If I select the note so it glows, I can use the arrow keys. There we go. And I wanted to have another E, so it's an octave leap. That works out nicely for me. I'll move back to crotchets. Oh, first of all, I'll stretch that note right out. When we get to the E minor bar, I can see what notes I've got here. So I'll choose, what are those notes again? This note, which is a B. Whoops-a-daisy. I didn't want that B. That B's better. And I'll make it a bit shorter than that. Crotchet. That's it. P. A. G. Once again, this middle note does not belong to the chord of E minor, but it's a passing note, so it's okay. I ended on a G. I'll keep going down to an F. Whoops-a-daisy. Now with an F chord, I'm going to maybe imitate something I did before with the F chord. Maybe I'll even repeat this whole bar. Can I select it like this? Looks like I can. Can I copy it and paste it? Yeah, there we go. So I'm copying and pasting the same bar from over here for no good reason other than to have a little bit of uniformity. And I might do the same with chord 5 here and here, but maybe I'll go backwards. See what that sounds like. So instead of moving down and down, I can move up and up. Starting from this note, which is what note is that? F. G. A. B. What's it sound like so far? It's not going to win any prizes. I didn't like this sudden jump from here down to there. It just doesn't belong, does it? What if I move this note up? What note do I landed on there? An E. An E certainly won't go with that. So maybe I'll shorten it. Oops, wrong note. Oh, I see. I shortened one note, I lengthened the other one. Fine, let's see what happens then. Can I play it from here? That's alright. So I have leapt from a non-chordal note, which is the E, up to a chordal note, which is an A. This isn't a passing note. This has another name. But it'll do. It's a kind of appoggiatura. And that E makes an F major 7th, which is alright. It's a bit spicy. It will do for now. I'm just trying to show you how you can use this program. Now here's the fun part. You can change the style as well. If we go up here to the mixer, we get a little choice of different kinds of backing. At the moment it's on Hook Theory Classic, which is a piano, the harmony moves in quarter notes, and the bass has a kind of dotted rhythm. There's also piano pad, sentimental, epic, pop ballad, house, halo, and fluid. Let's see what happens if we go to house music. With house, we see that voice 1, the melody part, has a dramatic lead sound, a dramatic pad sound for the harmony, an electric bass moving in eighth notes, and there's a drum kit. You can change the volume of any one of these parts, or you can completely take them out or mute them, but we'll keep it as it is. Let's see what it sounds like with this new setting. Continue. Are you excited as I am? Of course you are. Alright, now let's see what our composition sounds like with this new backing. Bars. You've got to do this again and again and again to produce the 32 bars required for this assignment. But we're well on our way. You can add lyrics above these little dots. It's certainly a much easier way to visualize music. The notes of the melody move up and down in steps or in leaps. You can see how long they last or how short they are, like here, and you can see the harmonic progression that underpins the whole. So overall, it's a very useful way of looking at music. Thank you for watching.